Thank you, Chair. Secretary Drilon, Senator Frank Drilon, excuse me, sir. Secretary Alcala, Secretary Pahe, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It gives me great pleasure to be back in Iloilo, the home of great food, especially cooked from the bounty of the land and the sea surrounding this beautiful province and city. Just last week, the senior disaster management officials met, and the SME ministerial meetings were held in this very room, the agenda of which are highly relevant to food security, inclusive development, and its connection to environmental sustainability. We are here, both the public and private sectors, with a shared mission to ensure a future APEC regional economy secure with access to food for our peoples. Over the last decade, we have witnessed the most dramatic decline in poverty levels. The Millennium Development Goal of reducing global poverty by 50% between 1990 and 2015 was realized 5 years ahead of target. Notwithstanding great strides in global economic growth and the rapid reduction of poverty, Asia remains to be home to more than 60% of the world's hungry. The Asian Development Bank's report on food security in Asia and the Pacific cited that, quote, 1 in every 8 people goes to bed hungry at night, yet there is sufficient food to feed the world, unquote. It underscores that food security is much more than raising food production. Quote, it is also about reducing distortions in global food markets and ensuring equitable distribution, particularly to food deficit economies and peoples, unquote. The FAO reports that feeding 9 billion people is estimated to require about 72% more food by 2015. Asia and the Pacific accounts for about 60% of the global population. Initiatives toward the attainment of food security are numerous, and APEC is among the platforms that have made great efforts in this area. APEC helps promote more free and open trade that can help bring food security to the estimated 800 million people around the world that remain chronically undernourished. Free and open trade has compelled economies, businesses, farmers to be competitive and efficient. It offers opportunities for market access. But free and open trade, however, means that our economies, farmers, must be innovative and identify their unique selling propositions to seek ways to embrace global values and standards so they can become eligible to be part of the larger global value chain. The following year, as early as 1998, the APEC Business Advisory Council, or ABAC, proposed the establishment of the APEC Food System, or AFS, as a comprehensive approach to action in the food sector. The following year, APEC ministers agreed that the overriding objective in building the AFS would be to efficiently link together food production, food processing, and consumption to meet the food needs of our people as an essential part of achieving sustainable growth, equitable development, and stability in the APEC region. APEC leaders adopted ABAC's recommendations that called for efforts to address rural infrastructure development, spreading technological advances in food production and processing, and promoting trade in food products. 16 years after ABAC's recommendations were adopted, we remain faced by the same issues. Food supply chains across the region remain frustrated by poor infrastructure. Lack or absence of financing and incentives continue to hound micro, small, and medium enterprises, effectively preventing them from participating in supply chains. Non-tariff barriers continue to abound, and the need to develop predictable, evidence-based food safety standards remains very pronounced. Today, bigger and more complex issues have also emerged. Growing consolidation of ownership of food value chains is leading to intense competition between global and regional supply chains, threatening the viability of small, medium enterprises. This also means too much power in the hands of few players and few economies. Choke points also begin to develop in critical areas, including food, water, choke points, affecting global capacity to grow enough food to sustain a growing global population. Food security is indeed a complex problem that requires deeper level of strategic dialogue within APEC and with governments. APEC welcomed the Policy Partnership on Food Security, or PPFS, in 2011 and remains hopeful that this will be a mechanism to bring together the public and private sectors around a set of concrete, achievable outcomes to achieve long-term, durable food security. We likewise welcome the roadmap towards 2020 produced by PPFS. It is crucial, however, that we build on this in ways that APEC's actions remain responsive to food security concerns facing the region. We're therefore pleased with the opportunity extended by the Philippine Chair for APEC to present proposals for strengthening private sector leadership and input into this process. We are grateful for the Chair's open engagement with APEC through the co-chair of PPFS, Tony Noel, a member of the APEC New Zealand, who's sitting right here. APEC needs to further deepen the level of strategic engagement and dialogue with the private sector to improve the understanding of the economic and commercial context for food, to address supply chain and connectivity and integrity, and to promote the participation of SMEs. To support work in generating private sector inputs and views to the discussion on food security issues, APEC established a parallel Asia-Pacific Food Industry Forum. This forum provides a means for the private sector to gather and coordinate its views for advocacy, both to PPFS and to APEC economic leaders via APEC. And we thank to the dedicated efforts of Tony Noel. A successful inaugural meeting of the Asia-Pacific Food Industry Forum was held in Singapore in May 2015, prior to the PPFS meeting in Boracay, and just last week, again, to prepare for this meeting today. Industry participants in the Food Industry Forum are conscious that recent developments in food trade and markets pose risks for achieving durable food security in the region. APEC is prepared to continue to support the PPFS through the rich views that we hope to collect through the Food Industry Forum. The private sector needs to be part of the solution for food security, working in partnership with governments. We hope you will find value in the contributions of the forum towards enriching the agenda and expanding the policy discussions of APEC. Finally, the Food Security and Blue Economy Action Plan, which the meeting hopes to produce, would hopefully provide a long-term strategy to address food security issues in the region in tandem with the APEC food system. In finalizing this plan, we hope you would also consider the need to improve the investment climate for agribusiness in the region. There are distortions on the land markets and issues that impede financial services delivery to micro, small, and medium enterprises. We need to act on these. In closing, I wish to underscore the importance of ensuring the sustainability of food systems and the importance of meeting growing food demand without sacrificing the resources of future generations. Greater efficiency is needed in food production and delivery. Agricultural trade and general trade policy should promote food security through a fair and open trading system. On the sidelines of the SME ministerial meeting last week, APEC had the opportunity to dialogue with SME ministers to discuss ways to ensure that large companies realize the important roles that MSMEs can play in their global value chains. We also discussed the important role that the technology-driven innovation economy will be vital to ensure that we achieve the food needed for future generations. APEC is a powerful platform to build trust and to promote regional cooperation on one of the most compelling issues of our time. We in the private sector are committed to working with you in finding lasting solutions to the region's food security issues. Thank you very much, Chair.